Right here, y'all. Right here. My gosh, I'm just getting my lines out. I just got this line cast out. I'm already hooked up, man. That's a big skipjack head. Big skipjack head. And that feels like a good fish too. Now the current out here today, y'all, it's ripping. Oh yeah. That's a good fish, man. Yes, sir. Hopefully you can see this. Y'all, I'm getting out here at first light. It's about 7 a.m. right now. Just getting set up, man. I just cast this first line out. I'd hoped to suspend a couple baits out here today and cast a couple out. There's a creek that comes in right here. But the current out here today, man, it's ripping. Well, ripping for around here anyway. From what you all are used to in a lot of places, this is nothing, but normally our flow is about a half a mile an hour. And where I'm at today is probably closer to a mile and a half an hour. So it's about, I'd say probably 3 times our normal flow, just from all the rain we've had and the fact they got the spill gates open at the dam. And so I can't suspend baits today. It's the current. I tried when I first put this bait out and my line's getting pushed up in the water column just due to the amount of flow. So I cast it out and I got my other bait on, cast it out, and I'll be doggone if this thing wasn't going off before I could even get the other one in the rod holder. And this right here, man, it feels like a really good fish. It feels solid. But again, you know, I am pulling it in with about a mile and a half hour current too, so that's going to add to it. But this area where I'm at here, this creek mouth, this is a shallower section of the river, about 20 feet deep here where I'm at. I don't have my graph on this kayak, but just having fished here in the past, I can tell you it's about 20 feet deep. And this area has done me really well historically this time of year. This is my first time fishing it here in 2021. Yeah, I see that fish out there. It's a blue cat. We got to pull him in here through this current here. It looks like he's about done. Nope, he's gonna take off again. I had planned on fishing 4 rods out here today. I don't know if that's gonna be possible because of the current flow. I've got 8-ounce sinkers on, but with the amount of flow, it's gonna bring all my baits together out in front of me. It may be difficult to use 4 rods in this narrow platform of a kayak and keep everything separated. This is a good fish, man. Yes, sir. Look right here now. First light, big blue. Oh, I'm gonna bring him in now. He's got some weight on him. I gotta be careful. Look at that thing right there, man. That's a hoss. That is a hoss of a fish. Where are my pliers at here? Okay. Oh man, that's a hoss of a fish. Woo! Okay, let's get this bait back out right quick. He swam through my other line there on the way in. Sorry y'all, I'm pumped up. I'm excited right now. Again, I have had really good success on this spot in the past this time of year. First time fishing this spot this year. And can't even get my lines out before I'm hooked up with a really nice blue cat right here in the floor of my kayak. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand up right quick, get this bait cast back out. You can see what he ate here. Let me show you. This is a big skipjack head. I mean, that's one of my bigger baits, or one of my bigger skipjack that I got. I'm just casting it out here, kind of right here where this creek comes in. Not making really long casts, don't really need to. I'm gonna set it back in the rod holder. Now let's fix this line too while we're at it, because he swam through it. He may have knocked my bait off this one. Yeah, okay. We still got our bait on there. This is a big hunk of skipjack, big body section. I want to be using big baits today, y'all, because I'm out here whopper hunting, man. And we got us one in the floor of the kayak. That's a beast. Okay, I'm gonna set that one there. Let's move our bait out of the way. I'm gonna get my front camera set up real quick. And we're gonna get some pictures of this thing. Oh yeah, look at that thing, man. Look at that. He's got some blood there at the corner of his mouth where I hooked him. He'll be fine. It's just superficial, but that's awesome. Oh yeah. All right, let's stick him on the board, just a quick measurement, and we're gonna get the rest of these baits out here because I think we're in for a good time today. Yeah, y'all, don't pay attention to all that blood. It's just superficial from the corner of his mouth. But that fish there, just shy of 40 inches, but look at the girth on that thing, man. That is a fat fish, man. Awesome. Okay. One last look at him there. He's a bloody mess, but he'll be fine. Okay, let's let him go. I can't lean over too far with that thing. He's gone, man. That's about all I can do with it. With the current out here today, can't be taking no chances leaning over for these fish, because you make a mistake out here, you're in trouble. This is one of them situations that if I wasn't in this kayak, you know, I have two kayaks. I have the this one, which is a Hobie PA-14, and I have an Old Town Sportsman Autopilot. Both are super stable kayaks. If I wasn't in such a stable kayak, I wouldn't be anchoring down in this kind of flow, and I don't recommend you all do it in a, you know, big box store kayak that's real tippy. You in for a bad time. You could be in a real dangerous situation if you ain't careful. Whew. Man, no coffee needed this morning. My adrenaline is sky high right now. All right, y'all, we're gonna hook us up another bait on here. This is another big skipjack head. There's my hand beside it. You can see it's palm size. Also big fish bait, and we after the big ones today. I'm gonna cast this out, and we'll see where this one lands. I think I am gonna go ahead and put a fourth bait out, and just I'll try to chunk the fourth one way out that way best I can. To hopefully it'll get a little distance, you know, between these baits. It's just so hard when you got this much flow. It just brings everything together, even when you're using heavier sinkers. Okay, got that one out. Next one here, I'm gonna put this big body chunk. Also, y'all, while I'm at it, today's video sponsor, Catfish Sumo. You can go to catfishsumo.com/Justin, get you some awesome deals. Thank you, Catfish Sumo, for sponsoring today's video and helping my audience with some huge savings. That last fish there was approaching sumo size. He'll get there someday with his genetics. And that's the kind of fish, y'all, the one that I just let go. Those are the ones you want to let go, because you want their genes getting passed on to the next generation. That's going to keep this trophy fish population going and make sure that we all got big fish to catch for years to come. All right, here is the next bait going out. Oh, I'm bird's nested that, man. Amateur hour here. I look like my moderator, the bass fisherman, trying to cast in, didn't I? That's terrible. I just put fresh line on my reels the other day, get geared up for spring here. Gonna mess it up first thing. All right, that'll do. All right, guys, I have got my baits out and I am waiting. Again, everything is cast out here just due to the amount of current flow. Got a shallow creek that comes in here. This section of the river, again, is normally 20 foot deep or so here where I'm at. I don't have my graph on this kayak today. I'm using this kayak because of the launch side. It's so terrible that it's hard to get in and out of, so I want it to be in the lighter weight kayak today in case I end up dragging this thing up a hill when I'm done today. So I'm in this one today, but I didn't switch my graph back over to it because, well, quite honestly, I just don't need it. Out here, I know where to position myself just due to history. Water temps, all that stuff doesn't really matter. This is more of a time of year seasonal thing. I know month of April, this is usually pretty good. We're in the mid-April now, so these fish should be here. And so I'm gonna put in a few hours out here this morning. We're right here at First Light. My plan is to fish till 11 today, noon. It's gonna be a morning trip for me. And then I gotta go restock on some bait this afternoon. But man, we off to a good start. I'm so pumped up right now. I'll tell you something, y'all, you would have thought I murdered that last fish there. As much blood as he left in the floor of my kayak. Nothing else, he's putting us some extra chum down there in the water right now. Oh my gosh, look at this. My gosh, that's why that big body section. I was looking over here behind me. There's an island over here, and I'm thinking, for an upcoming video, I'm gonna be over there set up on the bank, and I was looking for a clearing on it and felt my kayak moving very sharply. It's a great feeling. This is one of the midsections though. It's a large size bait too, you know, I'm throwing all big baits today. Unless I just start running low on bait, which I don't have a lot of skipjack with me. I gotta go restock this afternoon. Try to get some more, get some fresh bait. I tell you, man, this is exciting though. It's just, I look forward to fishing certain areas, certain times of the year. And this is one of those places that I look forward to. It's just a predictable bite with some big fish. And I really wish we didn't have so much dang current flow. That way I could suspend baits, because that's the most fun way to catch them. And I have caught some really big fish doing that. I've got some really nice flatheads here this time of year too, doing that. But with this amount of flow, I don't care how much weight you're using, it's just gonna bring your bait up. In the water column, you're gonna have a hard time controlling depth. And when you're suspending, you need to be able to control your depth at all times. So we're going old school and casting out today. That's a blue cat right there. That's another good one too. But this anchoring down, casting baits out, that's Catfish 101 right there, man. Let's keep it simple. My baits are right here, this creek mouth, right as the edge of the channel starts to come up, and when fish come up this channel, start to go into that creek where they cruise down the back of this channel from behind me here and go to turn in this creek, there's my baits. I'm playing this thing out a little bit here, y'all, because it's a pretty good fish. I don't want to bring him in too green. And I don't want to be battling him too much when I'm trying to get him into the kayak and I'm kind of leaned over, you know. Well, he may not be as big as I thought there. He's a fun sizer, but when I first got a look at him, I thought he was a little bigger than that. That's all right. He's still a decent fish. I'm happy to get a fish this size anytime I can. We'll throw him on the board here. He's probably a 36 incher, I'd say. 34, 36. Easy, buddy, easy, easy. Easy peasy. Woo. I tell you, man, getting these fish in is no joke today. I know a lot of yous out there, you know, you're dealing with 2 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour current every day. You know, it's a regular day for you, but you know, again, around here, our flow is normally 1/2 mile an hour, so this is a big difference for us. Yeah, folks, that one right there, about 34 1/4. Oh, there he went too. By gosh, heck with that. I didn't want to hold him up for the big camera there anywhere, the front camera. He wasn't worthy of getting a picture. He said, screw this, I'm getting the heck out of here while I can. But yeah, 34-inch fish right there. That's a quality fish. Fun time. He threw the bait off though. I'm gonna get another one ready and we'll launch it out there. All right, there's our next chunk. Going out. I'll toss it right there in front of me. Down it goes. Let's see what we can pull up next. Look at this headpiece right here. Look at that. Something wants it there. I'm just gonna let him take it. I think he's got it. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. Kind of acting like a flathead, wasn't it? Just sitting there messing with it like that. Like I told you, man, I've caught some good flatheads here. I don't know for sure that that's what this is, but the way my rod tip was just kind of bouncing around there, not really committing to it. When you saw how that last, oh my gosh, he let it go too. I bet that was a flathead. And got my other line. Got my other line and worked himself free. See that right there? See how my hook is coming up that line? Sometimes that'll happen. A fish will get in your other line and that line will just work its way down and pop that hook free. And that's what happened to me there. Dang, man. I was worried about that. You know, I was thinking about just ditching one of these rods because of that. You know, here, I'm gonna do something, y'all. I'm gonna do something. Give me a second, bear with me. All right, y'all, there's our next bait going out. That's a big skipjack cut in half, double hook rig. I'm gonna toss it out here, and then I'm gonna reel the other line in. We're just gonna go 3 rods, have a head, a midsection, and this monster bait right here. I'm just feeling it today, man. I'm just feeling it today. I ain't got a lot of bait with me. We may burn through it real quick, but it's gonna be a short trip today anyway, and so let's just swing for the fences, why don't we? I don't have any dinks out here, knock on wood. I'm not getting chewed up or anything on my bait, so hopefully it'll stay out there in good condition and be ready for when a monster comes along. I'll reel this other one in though, get it out of the way we don't have any more mishaps. Look at that. There it goes. There it goes. It just happened. It just happened. That's that half a skipjack right there. Oh, he just let it go. Dang, man. Didn't feel like a very big fish. I may have jinxed myself when I said I wouldn't have no dinks tapping or nothing like that. Because that one there did not feel like it had any weight to it. Oh well, it's still on there. We'll see what happens. Look at that double hooked bait right there, man. I jinxed myself, y'all. It keeps getting tapped by them small fish. They're just down there chewing that thing up. Look at it. Got to hit again. I bragged too soon. I was like, you know, there's some good fish in the area. Ain't no small fish out here chewing on my baits or nothing yet, and I'll be doggone. That bait ain't been out there 15 minutes, and it's been hit numerous times from just small fish, just taking bites out of it, just chewing on it. That one got hit too. I think the small fish have moved in, y'all. Oh, that may have it there. That's getting hit again. We got musical rods going on here. Something happening here now. Yeah, my gosh, he's on there, y'all. I've put out a 4th rod again. I've sat here for about an hour and a half with nothing going on. And I thought, I'm gonna put me out a rod with a small bait on there. I wanted to leave my big baits on the others. But I keep getting hit on those other pieces there, and you know, when you're using large baits like that, your smaller fish, unless they hit the hook just right, they're not going to get hooked up. And so that's fine with me for normal circumstances, but when you're doing this YouTube stuff, you got to catch some fish, you got to get some action. So I thought I better just throw me this 4th rod back out with a smaller bait on, just to make sure I get some content today, because I was full of hope and optimism first thing when I got bit right away, and boy was I misled on how good the bite was going to be today, because it ain't been on like I thought it was going to be on. Now I got another little one here. These guys have been down there chewing on my other baits. I got cocky earlier and thought that they weren't going to pester me today. And sure as the world, a few minutes later they showed up. I gotta be careful because this one's hook's coming out the bottom lip. Let me get my pliers here so I can get that thing free. Up, up, up. You can see it right there. I put on just a tiny bait to try to let one of these things get hooked up. Get out of here, buddy. Because otherwise, I fish that small right there, I ain't gonna be eating, you know, that half a skipjack on there or with a big headpiece over there. It just ain't gonna, it can take bites out of it, it can chew on it, but unless it gets that hook just right, it ain't gonna get hooked up. And then if these bigger fish don't do their part today, we ain't gonna have much content. But I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing, and I may end up doing this, is going back in this creek. Lately, some of my better fish have been coming really shallow, and since the fish aren't out here, at least in the numbers that I was hoping for, out here at the mouth of this thing and with the heavier flow we've got, I'm wondering if they ain't back on up in this creek here. It's just, this particular creek is heavily populated. There are houses all up and down through here, so bank access very limited, and I don't know if I'm gonna find any back there. I could go all the way to the very back of it and set up. There's not the houses back there, but the water level today, it looks like it's down a foot or two, and I don't know if I can get back in there or not. So kind of on the fence about if I should pull anchor or not, but I really haven't done any good out here in a while, so need to see what time it is here. Hell, I'm making decisions on the fly here, y'all. Let's see, it is 9:24. So you know, got bit right away and then not much else since. So I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna pull anchor and just see. Worst case scenario, it's a bust and we end up with a 3-fish video. But hey, with that first one there being a whopper, I'd be all right with that. But I do want to try to get some more today. So let's go see what we can find in this creek. Right here, I'm gonna crank down on this thing. Oh gosh, there he is, man. There he is. That's that half a skipjack right there. Yeah, buddy. Man, I felt him just messing with my bait there. And my line kind of went slack. I want you to look at this, man. Look at the size of the fish that's ate this half a skipjack. I don't even know if he ate it or if he just got wrapped up in it. Look at this. He's lassoed himself with that half a skipjack. This fish ain't even, here, I'm gonna get out the kayak here. This fish here ain't even hooked. Y'all, I've set up on the bank here. I found me a clearing here on this creek. I'll show you here in a second. Look at this right here, man. I don't even know how he's done that. He got that hook. He got the top hook through the fin. Okay, there's one. Let's see where the other hook's at. I heard my bait got flung off. I don't want to lose that. Oh, he did get a hook. He got the back one in the mouth there. Just a little thing. Lordy days. Quit that. Acting a dang fool now. No calls in that. Y'all, that's a fairly long fish. I'm gonna throw him on my board. I'll just say I'm still in the slot tournament here in the Kayaks and Cats group. Let's just say, no, he's shy of 30 inches. Well, let's let him go. Get out of here, buddy. There he goes. Let's see, did he get water all over the lens? Boy, he sure did. He's trying to make sure we ain't getting no filming of that action, didn't he? He said he didn't want to be on camera. He was going to block a camera if he had to. That small fish there ate my half a skipjack. You can see it's been chewed on some out there in the main channel, but I'm going to send it back out here in a second. But yeah, y'all, you can see this creek here heavily populated. There's houses and boat docks everywhere up here. Can't hardly set up anywhere without being in somebody's yard. But right here behind me, there's a wooded area, and where the water's down a foot or two, I've got a mud bank here that I can pull up and be able to cast my baits without getting caught in these trees here behind me. So that's what I've done. I've just cast them out here in this creek. Now, again, I don't have my graph on this kayak today, so I can't tell you the exact depth of this creek, but I can tell you from history and experience of being out here, this is a pretty shallow creek. It's maybe, I don't know, 12, 15 feet out there at the mouth of it before it drops off into the channel. And so back in here, you're probably looking at 7, 8 feet that I got my baits out. But you know, lately I've been doing real good in the shallows for cats. So I've got the small bait on this one over here, headpiece, midsection. That may be a lie. I may have those two reversed, either way. And then I had that half a skip on this rod cast right over here in this direction. So I've just kind of got them fan casted, and I'm going to spend the rest of my trip, probably another hour, hour and a half out here, and we'll see if we get something moving into this creek. All right, guys, I showed in a recent video how I tie my double hook rigs, but if you're new to the channel or you missed that, what this is 2 10-aught Mustad Demon circles snailed onto a leader here. So the hook that's closest to your swivel, I'm going to go in the skipjack mouth up under the gills there and come out of a nostril. This back hook, I'm just going to run it through the meat here in the back. Now you got you a double hook rig, so if they bite the front, they bite the back, or if they just lasso themselves, either way, you're going to get the fish, hopefully. We hooked up again. We hooked up again right here. Got another one on here. I've been sitting here, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. Well, he's coming at me too, man. He's making a run. All right, we caught up with him now. But yeah, 30 minutes or so probably. Oh, he's gonna pull some drag. Nothing going on, and then just got bit. Not using the clickers back here, since I'm in such a narrow creek. And my lines are so close together. I'm trying to get control of these fish quick as I can. I don't want them making a run with the clickers on. And today, you know, kind of been limited on the fish action. I want to, boy, look at that. Man, they're fun in the shallow water. But I was saying, I want to make sure we get some fish on this video too. With it being limited action today. I sure was excited first thing when we hooked into that whopper a couple minutes into the trip, but been kind of slow since then. This fish right here ain't slow though, is he, man? He's got some spunk. This here's another one. I'm gonna step out of the kayak for him. You know, it's a funny thing with this whole bank fishing, you know. I never was into bank fishing. For catfish anyway. I did a lot of bank fishing in my teenage years, but I didn't get into catfishing until my adult life, you know, early 20s. And by that point in time, I already had a boat, and then I got into the kayaks, and it wasn't until just a couple years ago I got into bank fishing for catfish, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and especially being able to use the kayak to access areas that are, you know, places that you wouldn't be able to fish otherwise. And kind of get away from the crowds and stuff, away from the dams and public parks and things like that. This one here's a decent fish, man. This is a fun sizer. I bet you he's 34 to 36 inches too. He calms down, we'll put him on the board and find out. Yeah, guys, that's there. Not a bad fish. I put my board here out on the... We're gonna measure this thing right here in the daggone water, man. Boy, I was dead on, wasn't I? Look at that. 36 inches. Right at it. That's another solid fish, man. That's a solid fish. I ain't gonna get the other camera going for him since I'm over here on the bank, but man, that's solid. Get out of here, blue cat. Boy, he come back at me, didn't he? He ain't done. These fish right there, man, they'll whoop your tail. Yeah, he gone. Let's get us another bait out there. All right, y'all, it's a little after 11. I'm gonna pack up and go get some lunch and then go reload on some bait, because if I'm gonna catch some more catfish this week, I need to load up on some skipjack. This morning's trip though, you know, man, got me a whopper right away and got excited, and kind of sporadic bites since then out in the main channel, and even back here in this creek. I only got 2 bites here in this creek, and surprisingly haven't even had small fish chewing on my baits in this creek here. I had more small fish chewing on me out there in the main channel than back here in this creek, but nevertheless, I'll be back out here again soon. I'm definitely going to go over there on that island and fish that bar at some point coming up, and I'd like to hit this creek mouth again. It's just I'd like for the current to be a little slower when I go back out there, so that I can suspend right at the bottom of that drop where it starts to come up into this creek. That's where I have historically done much better, but it's just hard to deal with that kind of flow in a kayak and do it safely. That's the most important thing to me. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, there ain't no fish out there worth risking your life over. And now that I got a little bit of a following on this YouTube stuff, it's bad on me to be in a situation like that and potentially influencing other people that's maybe new to kayak fishing to go and anchor down and heavier flows like that and possibly get themselves hurt or killed, you know. So I have to kind of be mindful of that when I'm doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm rambling on now. I'm getting out of here, going to go hit the KFC, maybe get me a Famous Bowl, because I really like them and they're cheap. And we're going to go catch some skipjack later on today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.